hit record so I don't forget this time.
Did we not record the last thing?
No, we don't need it, though. We got this one.
Perfect. All right, guys, here we are for another trailer reaction. Today we're going to be watching Alien Covenant.
I have no idea what this is. Is this
It's
a
got
sequel?
Das Fassbender.
Fassbender? So I'm so out of the loop. This must be a sequel, then, to Prometheus, if it has Fassbender?
That would be my guess.
It must be. It must happen after at some point if it's not a direct sequel. I love Alien, though. I grew up on this shit. I don't know.
I wouldn't mind, I don't know, starting over again.
Just from nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I like Alien. I like aliens. Like, I like what they are. I think there's a lot of cool things to do there. Just want...
Well, before we
I want,
get
like,
into
a
it,
full-scale fucking invasion movie.
So where do you fall on the whole thing? There's people who like 1, there's people who like 2. Everyone says 3 and 4 are bad.
I think I like the bad ones the most.
Yeah, I was gonna say I disagree
because they have
with most people.
they're the most action filled and like cool. Like
so like
which one's the one? What's number 4?
4's Joss Whedon.
But which one of someone's called?
Oh, Alien like Resurrection.
Is that Resurrection? Yeah,
maybe.
I think Resurrection was my favorite.
Maybe that's the one with the dude in the wheelchair and the fucking. That's like that's
Seeing
a whole,
aliens swim is also really cool.
Yeah, that's a whole different type of movie. I like that movie a lot, and I like 2 a lot. I don't think 3 is or 1 are like bad or not good or
One's
anything
a totally
like that.
different movie. One is like a thriller, and I'm not into like. That's the kind of horror that I'm not into. Like,
yeah, it's slow
like,
to go back to, definitely. Yeah.
Even I saw that when I was like, I don't know, 7 maybe, and I was like, this is slow. This is very slow.
That's where like your parents wouldn't want you to watch it because it was scary, and you're like, I like left the room. I didn't get to the scary part. I didn't even know what you're talking about. But no, going back to that, I appreciate it. There are people who think like 1's great, 2's okay, and then the rest are just fucking. I'm like, no, like they're
different strokes.
They're all very different. Even like 3 is not just one with in a prison. It's like different in its own like ways or whatever. I basically like them all. I like the Alien versus Predator. I liked Prometheus. I like a lot of these things. They all have various problems that I'm critical of. Back and forth. But I'm hoping more of this happens before people get old or die, and we get good stuff coming out of it. Yeah. Because there's been some bad stuff and there's been some weird stuff.
Like the newer ones they made, like in like the AVP world. Yeah. Like there's such potential for things like that to be really awesome.
Right.
But they didn't really make them.
I never saw the second AVP.
Well, there was no reason.
Yeah. I kind of liked the first one and like defended it, but then like when the second one came out, it tanked so hard that I'm like, well, I thought that was going to be the first like shaky steps along this new good path, and everyone was just like, no, it was the worst shit ever. I'm like, okay, well now I'm not going to bother. But Alien Covenant.
Let's give it a shot. That looks decent.
Just when you thought it was safe to have wet sex in space.
So that one, like, suffered for me for those same issues where I'm like, yes, you're giving me like a little bit to interest me, and it is teasing me. Yes, you're doing, I guess, in quotes, what you're supposed to do to make me want to know more. But you didn't tell me enough about anything that's happening to make me really care.
Right, and like if we were doing this in more of a full-time capacity, we would have heard all the rumors. We would know like where this fits into the timeline. We would understand like what the elevator pitch of it already was, and this would be different.
The point is
that
yes. For me, it should be not knowing any of that is the kind of the point of the show is an actual reaction to what you're seeing. And
I'm just making sure that people don't go, what the fuck? They don't know all the things, and it's like, no, I don't. Yeah.
Yes. No, just coming into it, only seeing this trailer and nothing else, not reading, not doing anything. That shot where he sits down with the cowboy hat makes him look like Danny McBride, but it's not. At least I don't think it is. The problem with things like this, these are the ones that I'm like, yeah, I'll catch that on TV or Netflix years later because you don't suck me in with something that makes me need to see it right now. Okay. But if you would have played up a little bit more on like what's happening, why you're there, blah blah blah. We got a distress thing though. It's blah blah blah. The logging camp went down. We don't know what happened. Like like something.
Yeah. We started talking and I was gonna make a comment because until about this point, we're watching it again. Like for the first like minute, there's no dialogue. So we're just talking over it, going, "Oh, look at that," or something like that, because we're not interrupting anything or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is fine. People do that in trailers. I love it. I hate it. Yeah, what I don't like about this is kind of what you're saying and kind of what I'm saying, where it's like, did Michael Fassbender like get a body? Is this before that movie? Does Michael Fassbender just play like an entire line of androids? I'm not sure what's going on. If someone hadn't seen other stuff but just saw Prometheus and didn't like it, they'd probably be like, what the fuck is going on here? Right?
Yeah.
I don't know what they would feel. But the good parts, if you want to call them that.
All the visuals, though, are, like, stunning. It looks like a film. It's a movie. It's proper. But it just, you didn't suck me in with anything. Like, and I think it could have been saved with just, like, the movie voice guy saying a couple of words here and there.
Just when you thought it was safe
or
to
even
have wet
just,
sex in
even
space.
just title cards of, like something.
Something.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so, like, because I have seen all the other movies and you have too or whatever, so, like, I think what this was meant to do is for people who are like fans of Aliens,
of course,
who saw Prometheus and were like, what the fuck is this shit? Now they're showing you all these things where it's like, no, that's a real facehugger. No, like hey, like remember the weird tunnels and hallways and how it's like wet and there's suits and like we're kind of mining but we're on a thing and there's it's all dirty and weird and everyone's wearing gloves and all this shit. Like it's sort of like evoking the same thing as those first two movies and kind of
now
making
I'm thinking
you,
that might be Danny McBride.
they're kind of making you say like, okay, we're back. This is what, you know, like, hey, in case you're wondering about what was going to happen here, here it is, and it's happening here, and all that stuff. There's this weird, like, long drop-in of, like, spores going into the guy's ear or something.
Yeah, and they can get spread that way, apparently. And then
well, that, I think, is,
does
like...
that take over his body now, or...
Well, because that's one of the weird things where it's like, well, that's like a Prometheus thing, where there was, like, a weird, like ooze infecting people now and all that stuff. So I don't know, but that's a real-ass facehugger, so... It's Aliens time.
That is Danny McBride. I just
Who
looked
is
up on
Danny
my phone.
McBride?
Eastbound and Down, Pineapple Express. He's like one of the Judd Apatow kind of guys.
Okay, I've heard the name a bunch. I just don't really know his face, I guess.
But that's interesting.
I like Aliens a lot. This is another one for me where it falls into that category of like if I see it in theaters, it'd probably be on the way home alone or something like that.
Yeah.
And this will be something too, like Blade Runner, like a bunch of other movies that are gonna come out in the next however many months, where it's gonna come out. I'm not gonna be there opening night, and then you're gonna hear the fucking tide of, and if everyone's like, fuck this shit, I'm gonna be very sad. It's gonna break my heart because I want good aliens in the world.
That commercial's a slow burn though, but by putting the word alien and in the context of like aliens,
again, right?
You kind of just make money. You're not gonna fail. It's very difficult because you have so much people that just like that series and like, well, I want to see the next thing in that series. But I feel like this trailer is relying on that too heavily and not giving enough for like the outside audience.
Yeah, exactly. And you would be sort of, because this scene where like it's bursting out of him and stuff, that's supposed to make you think of Newt and Sigourney Weaver in that in that room when that shit was like running. It's supposed to literally make you go, oh, it's an alien movie, good, and like make you fucking, I don't know. I do want to know what's going on here and see this movie, and it will break my heart if it's bad.
Yeah, but I'm not impressed. Hopefully the next trailer will be the Go Getcha trailer. And this is still in like a teasery world, even though it's like 2 minutes.
It may not be a lot of action. This is the first like
I don't need action. I just need
trailer.
someone to tell me anything about the movie.
Okay, you want to know what's happening?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm not anticipating it being like a really action movie. I think this will definitely be more of the thriller. But I want to be thrilled. I want to know why I should care. I want to know anything.
I think the flow these days, because when is it supposed to come out? Did it say?
It just said in 2017.
In 2017. The flow now seems to be like the first trailer is the trailer where like if you were gonna say, okay, I'm not gonna watch any more trailers, I want to see that just to like show you something, and then usually like even like once it's in theaters, there'll be this like third trailer that comes out around that time that's just very much like boom, here's what's happening or something like that. Because that's where like they didn't show Spider-Man in like Civil War like first or second trailer, they showed him only in or something like that, you know.
But not a fan of that tactic, and like if I were to give you 2 thumbs up based on I'm gonna see you in theaters, this would not make the 2 thumbs up for me.
I like Alien enough, and I like what I'm being shown here that I'm into it. But I don't think it's a great trailer. I'm definitely with you on that.